Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, Danny. Yeah, Danny. I'm robbing you of beauty sleep. That's right. It was the same for me. Uh, I'm currently on the brand new computer right now. It seems to be doing okay. I'm monitoring the temperature as we are streaming, and right now it's sitting at like 35 degrees, which is actually really cold for the stress we're putting on the CPU right now. So it's working pretty good. And if you don't know what happened, well, I'm sure you do. We came home from Tasmania and the computer just died. Like I spent 4 days trying to bring it back to life, and it just would not come back to life no matter what I did. Um, and we ended up having to replace basically everything. Brand new motherboard, brand new RAM. I kept the CPU because it worked. Um, Brand new RAM, motherboard, hard drive, and then I put a new cooler in it as well to keep it icy cold. This is what I got. It is one of these. If I can put it up on the screen, it is one of these. So this is a reservoir all-in-one water block and cooler. Basically, this big black section here. There's water or coolant in here, and it gets fed down to the CPU mount, which is the circle thing. That cools the CPU and then gets brought back up and then back into the chamber, and the fans cool it all off, and then it goes back down to the CPU and cools the CPU again. So, fun little invention. I'll show you what I used to have. It's actually very, very good. It works great, but I just wanted something that would handle the stress a little bit better than what because we put it under quite a lot of load doing the shows. So let me turn on my, why am I backwards? That's interesting. Why are we backwards? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, this is what I used to have. This is a dual uh, heatsink cooler. It normally has two fans on it, so it blows air through these little fins and cool. What is going on with the view? I don't know what's going on with the view, guys. I haven't tested any of this. I built the computer last night, came on. Why am I backwards? What is going on? Hold on, everyone. Oh, who has this ticked? What is going on? I don't know. Who's playing with all my settings? Hold on, guys. Reduce background noise. Yep. It's like everything reset, and I don't know why. Probably because I'm on a new computer, maybe. Automatically adjust mic volume? Nah, we don't need to do that. All right, we're back. That was very strange. That was very, very strange. No, really? It looked like it was flipped around. I just flipped it back the other way. What? Hold on. Watch. Wait, it's gone now. Oh, no, no, here it is. Okay. Watch this. Am I not backwards when I do this? Watch this. See? It flips. Does it not show to you guys? This is actually a mirror, so it's actually reversing it the other way, like flipping it over. Okay, I don't know why it was turned on. It shouldn't be turned on. You're upside down. That's because I'm in Australia. Okay, I don't know. It shows it to me that it's flipping it like that, the mirror image. Okay, I don't know. I don't know why you can't see it. Ah, interesting. But just to me, apparently. Just to me. Really? Okay. On my side, where I'm viewing my panel, it shows it to me. Maybe it's something for the creator. I don't know. That's very strange. Because I logged in and I looked like I was the other way around. And I was like, that's not the way it should look. All right, I don't know. Hey, changes with the new computer. Right now, working very good though. Working really good. Let me check out that temperature again. We've jumped a little bit. What does that say? Ping's old. I need to make this. I need to enlarge it. Where is my spectacles? We're in the low 40s. It's not great. I need to actually install a couple more fans on the other side of this reservoir here. to keep pulling the air through and out of the case. So right now it sort of gets pulled through and then hits nothing. And I need to put another couple of fans on the other side to keep that pull motion going. Doesn't matter. It's fine right now. All right. All right. I'm glad we're here. We're here. Computers shouldn't crash. It's a brand new computer. We should get no interruptions to our live streams anymore. All right, let me say hi to everyone. Danny. Hi Danny. You can go to bed now. It's okay. I said hi. Rachel, good to see you. Nana Lana, Shad. Hey Shad. I'll see you on the replay crew. Robbie T. Hey Robbie T. Nana Lana. Hey Nana Lana. April B's here. Who else is here? Lindy, Wendy R. Where's our swear word of the day? Here, Marilyn Landis. How are you? Who else? Sean. Hey Sean. Hey buddy. Rachel, Marlene is here. Gayla's here. Who else have I missed? Lindy. Hey Lindy. All right. Who else? Hey Kathy J. Hello. Mr. Danny Mitchell. Hey Danny Mitchell. I think Andrew was here earlier, right? No? Okay, maybe not. Oh, hey DJ. Good to see you, buddy. All right. All right. Let's keep going. I have some interesting information for you. For those of you that like what we did last year when we did the Cold Justice recap episodes every Saturday night, which would be tonight. Yeah, so normally on a Saturday night, we used to do a recap of the episode that just aired on Oxygen Network. If you enjoyed that, well, get ready because we're about to do it again in about a month's time. Season 8 of Cold Justice should air. Right now, they're showing what is that other show she does? Prosecuting Evil. So right now, they've got new episodes of Prosecuting Evil, and they just did. If I can find it. All right, let me see. What was the one they did? Belinda Temple. So they just did the Belinda Temple case, which was her and her unborn child. And they aired that tonight, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was tonight. So they did that, or was it tonight or a couple of days ago? I'm not sure. It says here 4 hours ago for me. I hope that means it was Saturday. Normally, Saturday night is their premiere night on Oxygen. So I thought I'd show you a little bit of it. It's probably not going to play for me because I'm Australian and they're very racist against Australians. By the way, depending on how you feel, Happy Australia Day or I'm sorry, it's Australia Day, whichever way you feel. But today is actually Australia's sort of like 4th of July. This is our national day of, well, it's become a little marred in controversy over the last many years. A lot of people that are they sympathize with the Aboriginals want it to be moved to a different day that we can all celebrate together. Some people think that it's the founding day and that we should celebrate it as is. And there's a lot of people that said like you can't change history, but we should keep it on the same day. So today is the 26th of January, which is Australia Day. So this is our so today is our national holiday, very similar to 4th of July. There's a lot of barbecues going on. There's a lot of people partying. It's a public holiday tomorrow. Not today because today is a Sunday, and under Australian federal law, if a public holiday falls on a Sunday, they give you the Monday off. So this year we get lucky, we get a long weekend out of it. So yeah, everyone's off for a few extra days this weekend. And yeah, happy Australia Day, or I'm sorry, it's Australia Day, whichever one you align to. Personally, I think that there should be a day that we should be celebrating this great country, the country that gives us all so much, gives us safety for the most part, being isolated in the Pacific and Indian Oceans, and allows us to at least interact with the world and be a little safer than some other countries. but I do understand the negativity around it as well. Wendy asked it. I heard that it was Australia Day and thought of you. Do people have the day off? Today it's a Sunday, so it's a weekend. Tomorrow they get an extra day off for the Monday, but I actually I'll talk about prosecuting evil in a second. Since we're talking about this, I'll show you what happens down here on Australia Day. Okay, so you get a lot of good things, sort of like, oh, everyone's having a day off and drinking some beers and having a barbecue, and you sort of get this as well. Australia Day 2025 live updates. Dramatic series of arrests as neo-Nazi crash survival day march, while police are forced to lock down Melbourne CBD. So my city, where I live in Melbourne, is currently locked down due to two different groups fighting. One which are they're like white power, sort of like white only people, and the other people are the people advocating for the Aboriginal people and wanting to move the day or give back land or something. I'm not sure. Probably a bit of everything. Probably want some repatriations too. So these two groups are apparently fighting in Melbourne right now. This happens every Australia Day, and you can see here there's been a lot of dramatic arrests down there. There's the white power dudes in their black uniform and the Australian flag. I'm surprised there's not a Southern Cross flag there somewhere. It's embarrassing. Yeah, it could be. So there you go. You see the guys, and then the other people were screaming, "F the police." So it's been a very eventful day in Melbourne. This poor person was trying to move out of their apartment in the city, and they couldn't get out because the whole city has been locked down. They chose a very bad day to move out of their apartment. And there you go. First, the order response police are down here. Everything's shut down in the city. No booze. It's Australia Day, which means you should have a beer. But if you're in the city, it means you can't buy any because the Thirsty Camel is closed. You cannot buy any. And there's just hundreds of police there. Although the McDonald's, the US import McDonald's, of course, is open every day. So you can get a Big Mac if you want. Although the police may not let you through. They seem to be guarding all the Big Macs. You know, guarding what is important on Australia Day, which is US territory. US territory, which is McDonald's, is very well protected in this protest. Got to protect the Americans. Yeah, so you can see all the people out there, and here you go. I'll show you a little bit of the march. Maybe I can show you a little bit without getting into trouble. So there you go, a little taste of the marching down there. So Australia Day is often a contentious day down here. I wish there was a way forward for everyone where we could all celebrate together. I personally think that the country works best when we are united. When we are united as one, I believe that this country moves forward better, faster, and with bigger numbers, strength, everything. And I think when we can find a way to get there, that'll be better for everyone. Everyone, like people that are white, like me, Aboriginal people, people who come from other countries and immigrate here. Whatever. I think that that is the way the nation needs to be, and that's my personal stance. I think united is the best way. And I think that we need to find a common ground with each other and move forward and find a way of building this country together and keeping it great for generations in the future. I think that's what we need. So let's see if we can find a leader who can facilitate that. Do you think we can? I don't think so. I I don't think so. But that's just Ping's opinion. I think both of them are not great. Although, what is interesting, so if you're in the USA, you would know that President Donald J. Trump just was inaugurated this week into the White House. there is a party in Australia called the Liberals. Right now, they're not in power. A Labor government right now is in power. Everyone hates them. Um, the Liberals, normally very shrewd, financial, like they like budgets and keeping things out of debt. They like cutting back on public resources, that type of thing. But they've taken a weird turn. They're mirroring their campaign because we're about to go to election in Australia soon. They're mirroring it, like they're doing a sort of mirror of Donald Trump. A lot of the policy points that Donald Trump has been running in his election campaign, they are now running it down here. And that'll be very interesting to see how that goes. I think they're going to win in a landslide anyway, because everyone freaking hates the Labor government right now. Even people who vote Labor hate Labor. So they're going to win in a landslide. They don't need to really do it, but it'll win them some more votes. So Wendy R says, should be able to celebrate being a citizen of your country altogether. I agree. I think at the end of the day, that's what we all are, right? We're all here. Sure, there's some issues we can all figure out, but we're still all here and we all have like a little card that says we're citizens of this bloody country. Let's all try and do because I think it'd be way more fun to celebrate together with the Aboriginal people and try to intertwine some of their culture and some of the European white culture and some people that come from India and China, and I think that'd be a way better fun more day if we all got along. I think that would be much more fun. So that's what's going on in Melbourne right now today. I like to tell you a little bit about what's going on down here, and yeah, it's been an interesting day. It always is every year. But I can tell you one of the other things that also happens is statues like this. So this is Captain Cook. If you don't know who Captain Cook is, my Australian history is probably pretty crap, but he's the guy on the 50-cent coin. No, um, he's the guy for the first fleet. Is that right, or am I wrong? Yeah. So he's the one who discovered Australia or colonized Australia. Anyway, there's a lot of these type of statues of colonialism around, and they often get torn down during Australian Day. They often either get spray painted, people pull them down, they get chainsawed, and today this one seems to be still okay, and there seems to be some patriotic Australians sitting in front of it. But there was another one here. James, is this James Captain James Cook? This looks like another one, and it got spray painted in red. There was another one earlier today that got pulled down and chainsawed. It happens every year. I don't know where they go after that, but they just seem to disappear. There you go. No pride in that stuff. Respect. Yeah, a lot of the and our First Nation people. There's Tony Abbott, who looks like a frog, but there you go. He's not. He was a prime minister. He's not anymore. He's just a talking frog now. Let's see if I can find. Oh, hey. Oh, naked ladies. All right. Where is the one? Hold on. Let me find the one. There was one earlier today that got absolutely decimated. There was one that got. Yeah. So here it is. John Batman. So his statue got destroyed in Melbourne today. Here you go.
Honouring the founder of modern-day Melbourne has been destroyed shortly after 2 a.m. this morning. Vandals ripped the John Batman monument from its plinth by Queen Victoria Market and seemingly sawed it in half. Crews arrived at the site around 9:30 a.m. to remove the fallen statue with a crane and bring it to a secure location. A memorial for soldiers who died in World War I was also defaced in Melbourne overnight, protesters covering it in red paint and writing "Land back."
I'm okay with people protesting. I'm okay with doing whatever you feel the need to get your point across for the most part, except if you disrupt people from getting to work or, you know, taking over motorways or whatever. I don't really understand that. But you want to protest, make your point get across or whatever, that's fine. But to target vandalism of our veterans, is like just a line in the sand for me personally. I don't respect that. I don't believe that furthers anyone's cause, and I don't believe you should be targeting the people who defended this country, and make it the free country you enjoy today. I think that is a step too far. Even though I think one of the statues had an inscription on the bottom that had history on it because it was like from the 1900s or something, and it was not correct. But they added a different plaque later on that said something about how the Aboriginal people, how they suffered and things like that. But don't target veterans. Like, don't we kick the veterans enough? Don't they cop it enough? Don't they get no support in our societies like 90% of the time? And to target something that is a monument to them, I don't really like that. You want to tear down Captain Cook or whatever, go nuts. I don't really care. It's just a statue. They can make another statue. But don't target the veterans. I don't think that's a wise idea. You're not going to win any brownie points with anyone by targeting, the people who allow this country to be a free democracy. Sorry, a free democracy, 365 days a year. You're not going to, yeah. Personally, I don't think that's a great idea. But John Batman, who basically, I think he colonized Melbourne, made like one of the first colonies down here. There's a few suburbs named after him. I think there's some streets and other things down here. Yeah, I don't really care. He probably was a jerk and an idiot or whatever. Like did abuse black people and stuff. Sean said heroes. That's right. Our people who fought in Gallipoli and World War One, World War Two, other fights around the world. They deserve a lot of respect. Who's the swear word tonight? Oh, I don't know. Oh, let me have a look at the list of who's here. What swear word can we use tonight? Oh, I don't know. Marilyn Landis is such a good one. Oh, and you know what? It's going to be Nana Lana. Because I reckon if you yelled that out of a car window, no one would know what you're talking about, and they would just get really confused and drive off. So tonight's swear word is Nana Lana. It is horrible. He did. Indeed, he did. I believe in the 1800s, DJ, that they sailed here on a wooden sailing ship, and then when they boarded a Melbourne that was basically bushland and a bay with no roads, no buildings, it was just undiscovered land, they put down the planks to disembark, and the first thing to come off was a Batmobile. I do believe that to be the case. They exported many of these around the world to Commonwealth countries during their, campaign of taking over the new lands. I believe that is true. Yes, so when you get angry for the next 24 hours, you can't swear. You need to scream out, Nana Lana. Okay? Yesterday, it was Marilyn Landis, but today, it is Nana Lana. All right, so that is what is going on in Australia today. I think we should celebrate what's good about the nation. I do agree that there are issues with our Aboriginal people, and I do believe there's compromises to be made and there's common ground to be found for both sides, not just them but for our side as well, and we need to find where that is and move forward together. I really believe that. I think until we can get there, the country's just going to keep going around in freaking circles for the next 50 odd years until someone comes up with a bright idea of how to do it. But unfortunately, until then, we're just going to keep getting this. Rachel said, it's all historical and shouldn't be defamed because they are petty with protesting. Yeah, I don't really care as long as you don't hurt anyone. I don't really care about defacing statues, except veterans. I don't think that's a cool idea. But some dude in the 1800s who no one gives a crap about, like, no, I don't really care about that. They can pull those statues down like Saddam Hussein all you want. That's not a big deal to me. But don't target the veterans. I think that goes too far. You know, those people, whether you like, there was Aboriginal people who, well, I don't know, I wasn't there, but I figure they were forcibly taken to war, but they did fight in these wars for Australia, and whether they were there forcibly or voluntarily, they still did it, and they deserve respect too for helping keep the country free. So, um, Rachel said it's all historical. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I do agree that a lot of things are historical. Like, I don't think there's anyone around right now in Australia that was around back when Australia was colonized. I don't think there's any, like, there might be some descendants or something like that, but I don't think there's anyone who was there that day. I don't think there's anyone who was there that shot an Aboriginal. So I think it. I don't know, who do you want to apologize? I mean, there's no one there anymore. Marlene Clausen said, I know that Tasmania was discovered by a man named Tasman. He was. There's a huge sign um, when you fly into Tasmania. When I was there a month ago, that is true. There is. There's a huge sign when you fly in with the history. Australia, mate. Hey, my friend. Happy Australia Day to you. How are you? I haven't seen you in a while. How's the show going? When are we going to team up and do some sort of crazy story? I think that'd be great. Hey, there's a new update in the story I sent you. Remember that story I sent you a couple of months ago? There's even more information. I reckon we should do it, but I don't know. I think it might be too risque for your channel. Maybe we should do it here. But I'm happy to do it on your channel too. Peekaboo says, I was saying I love the swear word being a name. It's fun. It is true. It is true. When you get very angry, you should always call out names. Maybe Marjorie Morse is going to be the next one tomorrow. Is it still called Anzac Day? Anzac Day is not January 26th. Anzac Day is later in the year. So Australia has two different military days. One is Anzac Day, and one is, now I'm getting confused with America. Is it Memorial Day? I know she's not listening. Hold on. There's two. There's one that's Anzac Day, and there's another one that's on the 11th of the 11th. And you're supposed to be like the 11th hour at the 11th minute or whatever. You're supposed to pay respect to the fallen and stuff like that. So we have two every year. Nothing is too risque for my channel. Get in touch with me. Let's do it. I want to do it. Remembrance Day, not Memorial Day. Memorial Day is American. Remembrance Day. So yeah, we have Remembrance Day in November, and Anzac Day is a couple of months away. We'll do that. So it's weird in Australia. Our public holidays are all at the start of the year. So at the start of the year, like now, we get a whole run of public holidays. So we get Australia Day, and then there's probably something in March. It might be Anzac Day. I don't know. There's the King's birthday. It used to be the Queen's birthday. There's Labor Day. There's always holidays that come up throughout the first part of the year. Good Friday. There's a long weekend for that. There's just all these long weekends. And then you get to about August or July, and there's like no more long weekends. There's like one in September, and that's about it. So yeah, let's do it. All right, get in contact with me. You know how to talk to me. We'll get it done. Oh, is it really? November 11th is Veterans Day in the USA. Oh, it must be timed with each other. That makes a lot of sense because yeah, we do our Remembrance Day. So okay, Veterans Day. Veterans Day. Well, today is Australia Day. All right, let's go back to the true crime. That is enough from Australia. Yeah, so they're currently doing Prosecuting Evil, which is more about Kelly Siegler and her time on the bench. That sounds really weird. I could have said something else, but that is the word they use. Uh, so that's her time prosecuting. She worked for the state of Texas. She was a prosecutor, and it goes against, what's this story here? I don't actually know this one. Belinda Temple. They was it David Temple that killed her? Yeah, so Belinda Temple, I actually don't know this one. It's one I'll have to watch. But they're doing a bunch of these, and then they're gonna do Cold Justice. So we're gonna have to wait a little bit. Normally, Prosecuting Evil is in October, but I don't know why they've brought it forward to January. Probably so they can squish them together. So you get a run of Prosecuting Evil, then you get Cold Justice. But as soon as Cold Justice is back, I will be doing my Saturday night recap of the episode. So we can do that together. April Will says ours tends to be spring and summer. Ours tends to be autumn and winter-ish. Oh, okay. No one ever asked me to go guest on anyone's stream. I must be very antisocial. That must be what it is. Nah, have fun. I hope you. I haven't seen any, but send me some examples. I want to see you on some late night, late night USA streams. I want to see it. We love Kelly Siegler. I do too. I'm a huge fan of Kelly Siegler. I know a lot of people in Texas hate her, but I really like her. I think she's a very driven woman. I think she's done a lot of good for a lot of families. And her show, Cold Justice, has moved so many cases forward. It's not even funny. That one last year in Texas where it was that ex wife of that guy, I have to look it up very quickly. That case hadn't done anything in 30 years. As soon as Cold Justice got involved, bang, solved. They found her body. It's been resolved. Guys have been arrested. I mean, you can't ask for more than that, right? And I get it. You'll be like, but Ping, it's reality TV. It's all set up. They're probably already doing the investigation anyway. Yeah, maybe, but I think the publicity helps drive it forward because it puts a lot of pressure and spotlight on that police department to invite a camera crew into their world, and makes everyone do the best they can, and it drives a lot of stuff that otherwise maybe wouldn't happen. Let me hold on. What was that one? It was in Texas. Let's see if I can remember. Was it Wetzel? No, I don't think that's it. um For some reason, I can't find it. I'll find it at some point. I'll post an update for you guys. But that was a really big one last year to have that solved, and we saw from her daughter on that episode. She'd been longing for her mum for for her entire adult life. It was extremely sad. But now she's got justice. There's a guy arrested, and they can move forward with that. And she knows who killed her mum now, and she got her mum back. They found her under that concrete. I mean, yeah, Shaun the Sheep. Hey, Shaun the Sheep. All right. Marlene Clausen said, "Remember the woman in the rug in the wall when you started making calls? They gave her a name after so many years and told her family." That is true. I don't know if I was directly responsible for it, but if I was any part of um, moving that case forward, I am very happy and appreciative because I think she deserves to be remembered and to have justice for who killed her. They still don't. I don't have a new update on her. They haven't really released much else besides that documentary they did. Hold on. Her name's Tanya, right? Tanya Lee Glover. She was found preserved in a wall, and I think I showed you guys some of the scene of the crime. This is her here. There was a documentary released about 8 months ago that delved a little deeper into it, but still no update about what happened to her or who killed her.
These
I
human
still
remains
think,
in a void behind a
hey,
storage.
shush. I still think you got to go back and talk to the people that she was rooming with at the time I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but there were several people that looked very suspicious in that documentary. Just very, yeah, they didn't seem right. Could be nothing, but it didn't seem 100%. But yeah, this is where they found her. I'll play the little video. It's Alderley in Queensland.
Pace at this unit complex on Wednesday, and we can tell you tonight police have been delving into more than 200 missing person reports from across southeast Queensland, looking at 50 from Brisbane's north, and hopefully this new information will allow them to narrow that search down even further.
Yeah, they found her in the back of there. Oh, come on. These websites suck. Yeah, I don't want to unmute you. Yeah, let's go here. Yeah, it's in the back of here, in this hole here in the wall. It's hard to see with the stupid overlay, but in this little crevice here, she was found behind this wall and down a little bit and sort of back slightly behind this left edge. She was under here and they reckon she'd been there for over a decade. Does no one ever go down there? Like, is there no tradespeople that were they just like, oh yeah, rolled up rug? Yeah, they're always down here. They're like snakes. I find them in the in the walls of units all the time. Yeah, so look, they were able to give a name back. Her name is Tanya Lee Glover. They found her through DNA evidence. So they were able to trace her using DNA. And they found a very distant relative who was connected through like an auntie, and her auntie had children and blah blah blah. It was like three generations outside of her direct family. Um, Still no update. I don't have anything else about Tanya Lee Glover, unfortunately. But there was an amazing documentary that was done. When was it done? Last year? It was on the ABC, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it is. Yes. It's on here. This one is very good. I think we played it on the show at the time. But the woman in the wall, they said when cleaners found a woman's body in December 2022, tucked at the back of an apartment complex car park in Brisbane's north, police struggled to identify the remains. The body was hidden behind the concrete wall of a storage cavity, tightly wrapped and partially buried. They said it was very clear there was foul play involved. Yeah, because people don't wrap themselves in a rug when they die. They're not like, hey, I just died. Let me grab the rug. So, I'm a neat package for whoever comes to get me. No, no. I mean, they're not like, I think this might have been an S word. People often wrap themselves in rugs during that, scenario. I think the foul play was pretty evident. They said limited information has been shared with the public as police pleaded for leads a month later. They still don't have any brand new information, but yeah, this was the lady here. She's a very distant relative of Tanya, and she got a random call from Queensland police. They're like, "Oh, hey, your DNA has come up in a murder investigation." And she was like freaking out on the other end of the phone. They're like, oh, we believe the victim might be a distant relative. And then her heart calmed down. I think she was like, what murder? Who did I kill? But they were just trying to say that the victim was related to her, and did she know anything about Tanya? But unfortunately, she didn't really know anything. Yeah. There's another photo of Tanya there. I would love for this particular place to be solved, case to be solved. I believe it is solvable, and I think the people involved are still around, and I don't believe they've left Queensland. I think they're still very close to where her body was discovered. But I'm very glad that she at least got her name back. So yeah, we put out a few requests for information for this, and uh, I tried to speak to the PIO officer out of Queensland that was covering this particular case, and they wouldn't talk to me. They were like, "It's an active investigation, and we have no comment." And I was like, "All right." So you're a wall sitter, all right? No, we're not. She was unalived with her rug. That's right. Wrapped herself in a rug. Uh, They are, right? Well, imagine if there's a lot of hacking that goes on in the world, especially things like ransomware, that type of thing, malware. Imagine if a malware got into a system that was hosting genetic data. And, right now they steal things like documents and, business things and stuff like that. Imagine if they took genetic data and then was selling that on the black market. What would you do then? Yeah, 10 of you have not liked the like button. You should like it some more. Hey, Snapcrackle, what's up? So yeah, I hope to one day bring you the story of someone being arrested for Tanya Lee Glover's murder, and I believe that person is still alive. I believe so, and I don't think it's as a tall tale as what some people have put out there. I think it's very simple. I think you got to find out who was living around her at the time or who was visiting that apartment block, and I think you'll find your answer pretty quick. Hopefully, the police are trying to track down those people, but it's been such a long time. Maybe records are not being kept as well as they should have been, and stuff like that. But this is the team that are working on it, are trying to work on solving her murder. So if you want to watch this, there is a 13-minute documentary. I believe it is well worth the watch. And if you pick up on some of the weird stuff in it, you leave a comment under this video. If you pick up the same vibe that Ping does, let me know under this video. I'm going to post a link in the chat for you to watch it. It's a 13-minute documentary from ABC. Yes. Yeah, I believe that is true. You look at something like that. Who was the company in the US? We were talking about it a couple of months ago. They almost went bankrupt. If they did, and they had to sell their assets, including any DNA data or anything like that, what happens then? Is there any law that protects your DNA data from being sold in a bankruptcy or liquidation sale? I don't think so. And that's what you have to be very careful with. I'm not saying you shouldn't help these DNA projects, but I think people should have a greater transparency over what their rights are and how to get rid of that data if you don't want it being used anymore. Yeah, I think it was 23andMe. They almost went under. They ended up taking the company private instead of being a public IPO company, and now it's back to being, I think, privately held company. So we'll see what happened. But basically, 23andMe had a failed product because you only do it once, right? You do your DNA sample, you pay your $100, and you get your results or whatever, and that's it. You don't really do anything else with it unless you're into, genealogy, you want to make a family tree or something. For most people, that's enough. They just want to know where they're from, the interesting bits of data about, where they're from in the world. That's it. And it's $100. You don't have any repeat customers. And that's what they saw. They saw a skyrocket of profits that went up, and then it just crashed and it never came back. Hella says, I would not upload my DNA to one of these things if my life depended on it. Yeah, I haven't done it yet. I would like to know who's a good company. Wendy R said, did you see the case from Hawaii that's just solved by DNA in Utah? 86-year-old arrested in a nursing home. Really? I didn't see that. KSL likely has articles. Oh, we can have a look. Your data will be your legacy. Mine's all on YouTube. You have an entire year of daily uploads from me. Literally daily uploads. So you have a year in the life of Ping. That'll be my defining legacy. You'll be able to search me on YouTube for, oh, what was he doing in 2024? Oh, we found out. He had computers die. Okay. Snapcrackle Pop said, my son told me never do the testing. It could be used to find someone for not legal reasons. I don't know about that, but maybe. Yeah, I could see why people have concerns about it. Very much. All right, hold on, guys. I'm going to look up that story. One sec.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Dina Tamis. I'm a lieutenant with the Hong Police Department's homicide detail, also with the cold case and strategic enforcement details. Today, I'm about to announce um, I'm sorry. Today at approximately 7:40 a.m., with the assistance from the Unified Police Department in Utah, a suspect was arrested for a murder that occurred in Honolulu nearly 50 years ago. I will be giving an overview of this case, which led up to the arrest.
Is her audio loud enough? Can you guys hear it? I've already boosted it like 250%. It's extremely quiet on my side, but I don't know if that means it's quiet on your side. Let me know if you guys can hear it. If you can't, I'll find a different source. But this is very interesting. So I'll wait for someone to reply. Let's see how long it takes. We've changed the chat for Folger's Crystal People. Let's see if anyone notices. No one's noticed yet. Maybe we're frozen. Maybe I'm sitting on the internet all alone. I'm just going to play it until someone tells me otherwise.
On March 21st, 1977, shortly after 7:30 a.m., HPD officers responded to McKinley High School on a report of a possible homicide on the second floor of the English building. The arriving officers found a 16-year-old female victim, later identified as Dawn Momohara, lying on her back, partially clothed. It appeared that she had been sexually assaulted, and she was pronounced dead at the scene. Several personal items were recovered at the scene, including her purse, slipper, shorts, and other evidence. An orange cloth was tightly wrapped around her neck. Homicide detectives learned that Dawn was a sophomore at McKinley High School. The morning before she was killed, Dawn had received a call from an unknown male. Later in the day, she told her mother that she was going to Ala Moana Shopping Center with some friends. That was the last time that Dawn's mother saw or heard from her daughter. An autopsy was performed by the chief medical examiner, which determined that the cause of death was asphyxia due to strangulation, and the manner of death was declared homicide. Dawn had sustained injuries around her neck where the orange cloth had been used to strangle her. The medical examiner further related that Dawn sustained injuries consistent with sexual assault. Scrapings recovered from the scene and during autopsy were examined and determined to be seminal fluid with the presence of spermatozoa. As part of this investigation, detectives interviewed numerous friends, family, and acquaintances of Dawn. One witness reported that on the night before Dawn died, between 9 and 10 p.m., he and his girlfriend drove through McKinley High School campus and observed a car and a male near the English building.
Sounds like they had some pretty good evidence. I mean, when you find seminal fluid and, you know, that baby batter, you're gonna have some pretty good leads. I'm not gonna play all this because this is like 15 minutes. I don't want to do that. But her name was Dawn. Let me find a quicker update on this so we can go through it. But that's the entire press conference. I don't want to do that to you. We don't want to sit here for like 25 hours and listen to that. But I can show you some photos of her here. Let me pause this. They say police have arrested a suspect in the unsolved murder of a Honolulu teenager whose death rocked the high school where her body was discovered almost 5 decades ago. They said the man arrested, Gideon Castro, was one of her former schoolmates who joined the U.S. Army Reserves after graduating. You know, that's such a common thing. I've seen that a bunch of times where people commit a serious crime when they're a teenager in high school, and they think by joining the army and being sort of semi-removed from the general population that somehow is going to protect them. And I don't know why that thinking seems to prevail for some people, but it's happened a few times. They say Dawn Momohara was found dead on the morning of March 21st, 1977, on the second floor of a building at McKinley High School in Hawaii's capital. According to the PD, she was 16 and a student there in her sophomore year. That's brutal. They said the crime scene was gruesome, She was partially clothed and lying on her back with an orange cloth tied around her neck. An orange cloth tied around her neck? What, for asphyxia? Weird. They say a subsequent autopsy ruled she was strangled to death. Okay, so the orange cloth was to strangle her. The medical examiner said there were signs of SA, which, yes, we know that from the seminal fluid that doesn't just appear randomly in women. They're not like, oh my God, look at all that seminal fluid. That's random. That doesn't work like that. Although police retrieved an unknown man's DNA sample from the teenager's clothing, they could not identify a suspect. Authorities would not develop meaningful leads in the homicide until 2020, after a cold case detective resubmitted evidence for forensic exams using updated technology. That happens a lot. There's a photo of it, by the way. There's it looks like an old yearbook photo taken either from paper or from like an actual yearbook. Yeah, there she is. They say by December 2023, the DNA test led investigators to two possible suspects, brothers Gideon and William Castro, who had both been interviewed in the immediate aftermath of her killing. Apparently Gideon told police he met her at a school dance in 1976 just before he graduated. Police said William in those interviews said he and Momahara periodically talked on the phone but denied ever being in any kind of relationship with her. How do these two brothers both have such a weird relationship with the same girl? That's very freaky. I guess telephone back then was their internet, so everyone spoke via phone. Once forensic tests narrowed down the pool of potential suspects to the brothers, PD traveled to Chicago, where William lived, to obtain a DNA sample secretly from one of his children and use it as a comparison. The comparison excluded William as a suspect, and Gideon, now over 60 years old, he was 66, was arrested at a nursing home in Utah on a second-degree murder charge. He is going to be extradited back to Honolulu. They say, on behalf of the Honolulu PD, I want to thank all individuals and agencies that made their arrest possible. Thank you for all your dedication and commitment to the tireless pursuit of justice for Dawn and her family. She shouldn't have had to wait so long, but I'm glad that the technology was able to figure out who killed her. Wish they had a better photo of her. This is like the worst photo ever. Did they not sit for photos in 1970? In 1977, did they not have color photos? I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty sure there were such thing as color photos in 1977. Here, I think I have a different photo of her. Here, something that doesn't look like a newspaper. So there's a photo of her. Yeah, that's like the only photo I have. Is that a different photo of her? This might be a different photo of her. I just want to check. No. No. Okay. That photo came from an old news clipping, apparently. I can show you that. So that one of the photos that we saw came from this news clipping. And they say detectives seek clues in murder of student 16. This looks like it was probably published back in the day. And they found him in a nursing home in Utah. Oh, thanks, DJ. Frenchy Mama. I don't know who Frenchy Mama is, but hey, good to see you. Was gifted a membership by Kathy Lynch. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate it. And Frenchy Mama, I hope you put it to some good use. I don't know what it does, but it may give you magical powers, good luck, may protect you from 5G Wi-Fi. I don't know. They may do that. Sort of like those amulets. Hey, Charisma. What's up, sweetheart? Hey, Marilyn Landers. What? What are you talking about? Yeah, Sean has no hair. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate it for gifting the 2 memberships. Who was the other one gone to? It got given to Hella. Oh, Hella. There you go. Now you're a member. Now what are you going to do? Now what are you going to do? You can't run away now. C. Taylor says, busted in a nursing home in Utah. That's very embarrassing, right? You're sitting there waiting for your daily pudding, waiting to get your cup of meds in the morning, and enroll the homicide detectives to come and arrest you. That would be the most exciting day in that nursing home ever. The residents, they'd have to give them more medication to calm them down because everyone would be so riled up about someone being arrested for murder. You shall wreak havoc? All right, I'm happy. I'm happy if you do that. Great story. I love when we get these cold cases. Who was the agency that did the testing? It doesn't tell us. Here, let me see if it was Othram. I don't see Othram being linked to it. Yeah, I don't see. No, I don't see their name associated with this particular one. But you know what's interesting? A lot of police departments now um, are starting to do some of the work that Othram does. Not all of it, but some of like the genetic genealogy. They're starting to open up their own labs where they are able to do a lot of the work in house. There's quite a few around the country that can actually do the work without outsourcing to Othram now. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Well, it's maybe a bad thing for Othram, but it's probably a good thing for solving crimes. But yeah, a few of them have their own in-house genetic testing now. They do. The one I always remember is the one I always tell you about is the truck driver who was killed. They knew who he was, and in the wreckage of the burnt out truck, there was a female body. And for years, they had no idea who this female was. Her body was so badly burnt beyond recognition that they couldn't do any sort of dental or, facial recognition or anything like that. And it was Othram who was able to work with those burned remains, highly, heat treated. They were able to find a DNA structure somehow with their amplification technology, and were able to give her back her name and get what little remains were left of her back to her family. And that's the one that always stays with me. I don't think she was a murder victim or anything. I just like that story because I'm sure her family were looking for her for a really long time and had no idea she was the girl who died in a random truck fire, after a truck crashed. Like, they do some great work and they deserve support. Nanalana says, her old name was Excited Utterance. She just added the hella mad. I think at least that's what I know. If other than that, I don't know anything. Snapcrackle Bob said, "Oh yeah, hey, good night, my friend. Have a good sleep. Bye bye." All right. Hey, don't yell at me. Weird video. All right, I have more stories for you, including this guy. We like to go to Boca Raton. Lawyer jailed in Boca prime rib attack. Prime rib attack. Did he attack someone with a prime rib? I don't know. But it sounds his name is he's an attorney. His name is Mark. He was jailed after allegedly breaking a plate over a head of a wedding guest in Boca Raton in a buffet line. Yes, at a wedding. At a wedding, this guy decided someone had pushed in and he decided to murder him. No, he didn't murder him. He decided to hit him over the head with a plate for taking too much prime rib. This is the guy you don't want at your wedding, apparently. They say the lawyer arrested following a prime rib incident during a weekend wedding at Boca Lago Country Club allegedly broke a plate over the head of another guest. They say BocaNewsNow.com has obtained the police report for the Saturday night arrest of attorney Mark Roa. They say he is free on bond at the moment. Free on bond, but must stay away from all plates. He can't have any plates in his possession. A former Boca Raton-based bankruptcy attorney, he now works from an office in Broward County. He's being charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. I'm sorry, it's not funny. Someone's very hurt, but a deadly weapon, they're like, "Oh, put down the plate. We're gonna have to get the taser, buddy." You know, put down that deadly weapon. They're saying Mark, according to the police report filed by Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, was upset another guest let two young girls get in front of him for the buffet at the prime rib carving station. How much of a beep? Where's my swear button? Beep, beep, mother beep. How much of a absolute beep do you have to be pissed off that two children might get a little bit of prime rib before you do? Like, what drives you? Apparently prime rib, right? Apparently prime rib drives this guy. Not money, not kindness, not love for other people. Prime rib. Apparently you get in front of him, he'll hit you over the head with a plate. They said the victim then stated that a white male standing behind him became upset that he was being cut in line, and the white male, who was later identified as Mark, walked up to him and began arguing. The victim then stated that he was attempting to remove himself from the situation. He turned around to avoid further contact. The victim then allegedly was hit over the head with a plate and then shoved. And while off balance, the victim was grabbed by the collar by Mark, who was holding a plate above his head. Witnesses confirmed the story, with one the subject of part of the police report. It says, I then spoke to a worker at the event who said in a sworn statement that they saw the whole interaction from the start and corroborated the victim's account about why Mark became upset at being cut in line, basically. The witness then stated that the victim had turned away from Mark in an attempt to ignore him, and this is when Mark walked up to him with a plate and hit him in the head with the plate. The witness confirmed the plate had shattered and that Mark then pushed the victim and was holding him by the collar. The witness then stated that the surrounding people separated the two individuals, but then Mark attempted to walk back over to the victim, probably to get more prime rib. The witness then said they heard multiple plates shatter. What is this guy, like the Karate Kid of plates? But then she said she only saw as the one Mark used to hit the victim on the head. So she only saw one break on the victim's head. I don't know if it matters if one broke or 25 broke. This guy's like a ninja turtle of prime rib and plates, apparently. When the police spoke to Mark, the lawyer initially lawyered up. Can you lawyer up if you're a lawyer? Do you just call yourself on the phone? Is that what you do? You're like, I need to make a phone call. They're like, to who? And you're like, oh, to myself. I need to call my own mobile and speak to myself. I need to make sure I contact the lawyer. I need to get great legal advice and I need to call me. Mark chose to invoke his right to remain silent and wished to speak to an attorney. I then placed Mark into handcuffs, which were checked for proper fit. Yeah, when you eat too much prime rib, you got to check those handcuffs for a proper fit. And Mark was placed under arrest. Mark then later chose to speak to me once we arrived at the District 7 office and stated that he was upset that he was being cut in line. And then he did get into an argument with the victim. Mark also admitted to making first contact by pushing the victim. The arresting deputy says, I did find probable cause that Mark is in violation of Florida statute, as he did actually and intentionally touch and strike the victim, and in doing so used a plate as a weapon. There you go, Mr. Mark. Here he is. Mr. Lawyered up, prime rib, deadly plate, Mark. Mark the lawyer. Wow, here, what? Here, wait, hey, what? Hold on. I don't know what I'm supposed to be going up for. Let me see. Mouse mouth, okay. I don't know what that means. You'll have to tell me. Hey, Rachel, thank you very much. I really appreciate the super sticker. That's very kind of you. Sean said that's gold. I know, right? No prime rib for you. He is. That's right. Let's see. No women or children. What? No children or ladies first for this guy. No. He'll take all the boats on the Titanic, all of them. Rachel said, "Yeah, I haven't heard that either. I haven't heard that they've been testing antifreezer for a while. What are you guys asking about? Oh, this thing? That's interesting. I'm not sure. I could ask. I could, I mean, I have contacts with Othram. I could ask if that's true or not. I mean, I mean, I can ask Trish. She would know. She works with David directly, uh, every day. So I could ask if that is true. So, sorry. Mercy Brown. I don't know who Mercy Brown is, but I can ask for you, Hella, if you want. I can find out if that is true, if you want me to. Marlene Clausen said he is a looker. No, he is not. Uh, yeah, get over yourself. Buddy does not look like he's Mr. Meal. I don't think he needs any more prime rib. He probably needs a celery stick and a, walking machine. I think he'll be all right if he doesn't get his prime rib at the wedding. I think he'd be just fine. Give it to the little kids. I, I said, how much of a Nanalana do you have to be? A big one, right? You have to be the worst Nanalana. What a Nanalana. Yeah, so Mr. Prime Rib here, you've been caught in 4K and now you're all over the interwebs. You are on the interwebs as the plate assassin. You are the plate prime rib assassin. Yeah, I thought this was an interesting story. I thought I'd bring it to you. Anytime someone fights someone at a wedding for prime rib, it's worth talking about. As you know, I went to a wedding a month ago. We had prime rib. Actually, I don't know what it was. Do you know what that beef was at the wedding? Was it prime rib? Oh no, it was blade or something, right? Was it I Feel It? Okay. It was really good. It was like smoked. They smoked it on this like big smoker thing, and it was icy cold at the wedding. But there were like huge chunks of meat. It was great. Ping ate like 3 of them. It was amazing. They had like salmon and anyway. There's always plenty of food to go around at these weddings. Like we had over 100 people, and there was still food, wasn't there? There was still meat left. Like there was still beef left, and everyone had like plates piled high of food. So, yeah, this guy is just being a greedy Nanalana. He's being a greedy Nanalana. So he's going to get a nice charge of assault. He's probably going to plead it down. He's a lawyer. He knows how the system works. He won't do any jail time. It's probably just going to be a fine, and he'll get it probably expunged from his record, unfortunately. Hella said, this reminds me of the episode of Simpsons where Homer sued the seafood restaurant. That's right, because he didn't get to eat everything. Yeah. Kathy Lynch says, back away from the red meat buddy. I'd be worried that if you put him in handcuffs, he might have a heart attack because he can't breathe. April B said, it's a stupid criminal of the day type story. It definitely is. Remember that lady we read about last year that got arrested being naked in the bottle shop? Was it that? Something like, no, that was a couple of months ago. But there was another one where the lady was self-serving herself in a bottle shop in Florida. Do you remember that? That was the other one we did last year. She was yeah, she was having too good of a time. Rachel said he will probably get a huge fine. Yeah, probably. Gluttonous man. He does not need any more red meat. Sean said smorgasbord is Aussie, I heard. Is it? I didn't know about that. All right. So that is Mr. Mark. Mr. Mark, the plate ninja. We're going to move on from that one. But very funny. That's literally the only post I have of it. I searched for him a bit more and I couldn't find anything. This is the only place reporting it. I guess because it's just local, news. Oh no, Lauren Crime did it. Oh, how did I not see that? I try not to use law and crime as a source because they are a competing, uh, YouTube channel. Not competing. I'm not even in the same ballpark as them, but we do the same thing on YouTube. So I try not to use them as a source for any of my shows. Um, yeah, the large bald man struck the slimmer man on the head with a dinner plate. Florida attorney allegedly attacks father of girl who cut in front of him in buffet line at meat station. That seems pretty normal to me. Like if you're at a wedding and you're the dad or the mom or whatever, the kids are off playing with the other children. And if you're in the line for the buffet or the meat or the whatever the food, of course you're going to call your children over when you get close to the serving point because the kids are just wanting to run off and play with all their little friends. So I don't know what Mark thought, but I don't think children count as cutting in line. A grown adult, maybe. Maybe you can get in a fight over prime rib with a grown adult, but it's a wedding. Everyone's supposed to be cheerful and having fun and, being very nice. So if someone cut in, who gives a crap? Just let them cut in. It doesn't matter. Everyone's going to get fed. You have to wait another 30 seconds for your food. Who cares? There's bigger issues in the world than whether you get that piece of red meat or that piece of red meat, or you get the fish. Who cares? The Florida attorney was recently arrested after an altercation at a buffet line turned physical. Sunshine State law enforcement have said Mark Rower, 52, stands accused of one count of aggravated battery with a deadly plate. No, sorry. It says deadly weapon. Excuse me. According to the Palm Beach County jail records, what began verbally ended with violence and an arrest. Yeah, it ended with violence. He woke up in the morning and he chose violence. Violence at the buffet line. The incident occurred on January 18th during a wedding at the Boca Lago Country Club in Boca Raton. They say, according to the police report obtained by the Miami New Times, during the reception, the defendant, yeah, we've read all this. Oh, I like this bit. A melee began between a large number of the wedding guests. What kind of wedding was this? What kind of wedding is this where people fight over the prime rib and stuff? How many drinks have they had? The man attacked also relayed his version of events. Oh, I want to see. The victim then stated that a white male standing behind him became upset that he was being cut in line, and the white male, who was later identified as Mark, walked up to him and they began arguing. The victim then stated that he was attempting to. Yeah, we read this bit. That's okay. Yep, that's a witness. We already read that. When initially questioned, Mark invoked his Miranda rights. Well, at least he's watched. Don't talk to police. Later, during a custodial interview at the Palm Beach County Sheriff's District, he allegedly agreed to speak. Well, he obviously called his attorney, which is him, and his attorney said, "Yeah, you can speak on this. They're not going to charge you with much." And he went, "Well, that's good legal advice. I should speak to the detectives now." The defendant made clear to investigators that he suffered during the count attempts as well. Oh, I bet you did. You suffered what? Lack of red meat? Rowe is also informed me that he had several injuries where he was grabbed and escorted away. You don't get to claim injuries if you're the one who started it. That's called defense. That's called someone defending them against you. And you being a 300-pound man is sort of like being, very difficult to restrain and get out of the, you know, venue. So I don't think you get to claim assault if you're the one who smacks someone over the head with a plate in a buffet line. They say the defendant was booked into jail earlier in the week and released on a $1,000 bond a few hours later. That's a lot of prime rib, buddy. If you just waited, you could have spent that money on many, many sections of beef. You could have bought half a cow. You could have bought as much red meat as you wanted to. It could have been amazing. You could have had a smoker. But instead, you woke up in the morning and chose violence. Violence over prime rib. Yeah, we were lucky. The one we went to was not like people were drinking, and even I was drinking, but it wasn't like over the top. Like people were cheerful, they'd had like, a number of drinks, but everyone had eaten. Everyone had had food before. So when we came back from the ceremony, they had sort of like a nibbles type of thing where it had like, what was that thing called? Oi, Mrs. Ping. What do they call those things where they have the meat? Like a charcuterie board? Is that what we had at the wedding? In the first bit. A grazing plate or whatever. Yeah, a grazing board or whatever. And like we had that, and what was funny? Halfway through the grazing board, they closed the bar. They were like, "Oh, we've run out of drinks." We're like, "What do you mean you've run out of drinks? It's a wedding. How do you run out of drinks at a wedding?" And they're like, "No, no, no. We've just run out of drinks for this particular section of the wedding." They're like, "In like half an hour, you can come into the main part, and we've got a fully stocked bar. It's like it's all good." They're like, "This is just for this bit." So yeah, we ate then, and then we ate the main meal when we went in, and like people were drunk as hell. Like there was fireball shots going around. There was beers, there was wine, there was spirits being poured into people's mouths. There was even a bottle of alcohol on the bus on the way home. On the way back to the hotel, not our bus, luckily, we're not on our one, but on one of the later ones, apparently they were still serving drinks on the bus on the way back to the hotel. They were pouring fireball shots on the way back to the hotel. Oh my god. Marlene said, I heard of fights at funerals usually over OD deaths. That's very sad. Gayla says, how many people did it take to pull him off? Well, it depends how big he is. Some men are about 8 inches, some men are about 6. You might need 1 or 2 people. If it's like a fire hose, you might need like 10. Well, you're talking about how big he is. Oh, I don't know. He's like 300 pounds. It could, about 10 people. Who knows? Sean said he missed a dessert because of that. That's right. A platter. Yeah, a platter. Rachel said, hello, Mrs. Ping. Is that your response now? You just smile and say hello?
What would you want me to say? How are you?
You want to have a conversation through the microphone or? No? Do you want to talk true crime? Do you like true crime?
Yeah, of course I do.
What's your favorite case? I always do this. She gets so mad. She gets so mad because every time she's anywhere near the microphone, I always ask her what's her favorite case or what case is she looking at right now. And she's always like, every time I get off the air, she's like, don't do that to me while we're on the air. She's like, I don't know. I'm not prepared. I'm not like you. I don't have 50 stories, lined up. She's like, uh, she likes the older ones. She likes the stuff that's like historical, more like Madeline McCann, things like that. Because we watched it together at the time, and she likes that one in Queensland, don't you? The one with the two brothers, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Yeah, she likes those too. She's always asked me, "Is there an update? Is there an update?" But I don't have any update for her right now. Yeah. Kathy Lynch says the police dangled prime rib in front of him to get him into the police car. I feel like we're almost at the point where we may be body shaming. Yeah, they may have, sort of like Scooby Doo. They have the pole and they make, the victim go in that direction. I feel like we might be close to body shaming though. Very, very on the edge of it. All right. What about an Amber Alert? Do you guys like an Amber Alert? I don't, but I have to do them. Let's see. All right. Another name Ping can't pronounce, even though I am practicing my Spanish, but it's very slow. Ping can say one word, that's it. Yeah, see, that's it. So an Amber Alert has been issued with a weird sort of trigger on it. They believe this child is in extreme danger, not just danger, not, might be, in trouble. Extreme danger. Extreme. Not like extreme, like, rock star. Like he might be in a lot of trouble. So let me take you over here. It's not a very long update. This is from WTKR News 3. Oh, no, it isn't. It's from Wavy TV. What is Wavy TV? What kind of news channel is that? Wavy TV. I want to work at Wavy TV.
Begin with developing news. Virginia State Police issued an Amber Alert this morning on behalf of Virginia Beach Police for a missing 12-year-old that was abducted. Juan Sebastian Mejia Avicido was last seen on Micah Avenue around 9 p.m. last night. The boy was wearing blue pants, a red hoodie, and black shoes. Police say his parents believed he was at a friend's house, but it is not known at this time who took the boy. If you know anything, call Virginia Beach Police at 757-385-5000.
So a very short update, but they're saying here that he's 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighs about 105 pounds, has black hair, brown eyes, and was last seen wearing a red hoodie, blue pants, and black shoes. And he's missing out of Virginia. So one, I don't know why they've given it extreme danger, but they believe he's been abducted. I don't know if it's by a stranger, by a friend, by a family member. It says he's believed to be in extreme danger and was abducted by an unknown person about 9 a.m. on Friday. Ugh, it doesn't sound good. Let me head over to the Virginian pilot, whatever that is. Here, let's go here. They're now calling him at risk. Oi, stop it. There we go. Yeah. They're saying an Amber Alert has been issued as police search for Juan. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his last name, but he's 12 out of Virginia Beach. They believe he has been abducted and in extreme danger. According to an alert notice, he was abducted about 9 a.m. on Friday and was last seen in the 200 block of Micah Avenue in Virginia Beach. That's part of a large apartment complex in the Kempsville area of the city, west of Holland Road and south of I-264. They say one is described by police as 5'8", 105-pound Hispanic male with black hair and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing blue jeans, a red hoodie, and black shoes. He is believed to have been abducted by an unknown person. Virginia Beach Police said Saturday that officers were dispatched to the Micah Avenue on Friday around 9 p.m. 9 p.m. That's 12 hours after they believe he was abducted. For a missing person report and that the missing child's parents believed he was at a friend's house. While searching, officers said additional information led them to handle the case as an abduction. During the investigation, officers submitted an Amber Alert request to Virginia State Police shortly before 2 a.m. State Police reviewed it before issuing the alert early Saturday morning. Police are still investigating the surrounding of the abduction. Here's a sniffer dog trying to find his tracks, apparently. What the hell? That's very strange. Hold on, let me look this up. Because that's a long time, 12 hours. If you're abducted at 9 a.m. in the morning and there's a 12-hour gap, they could be in a freaking another state. They could be like north, south, east, west. They could be across state lines and Virginia is not very big. They could be into like, I don't know what state is next to it. Carolina? Washington? I don't know. Don't ask Ping. Let me have a look. What state is next to Virginia? I didn't go to school. I didn't have to do those like, name the 50 states in America. I didn't have to do that. They said name the 5 states we have in Australia and 1 territory. Indiana? Is that the next one? No, West Virginia, and then Kentucky, and then North Carolina. I was sort of right. Hey, I was sort of right. So yeah, they could go north too into New Jersey and into New York. You could be into New York or Washington, Baltimore, like within hours. 12 hours is a long time to be missing out of Virginia. That's a long time frame. It's not easy. Yeah, 12 hours is forever for an abduction. Forever. Yeah, I agree. It is a long, long time. Parents thought he was at a friend's house. Yeah, I get that, but it's just a long time. No, I don't have a better photo of him. Like, that's the only photo I have of Mr. Wan or Sir Wan. Let me see if I can find a better one. Yeah. His middle name is Sebastian. That's freaky. No, there's like one photo for this kid. Do people like everyone has a phone in their pocket, right? How is it that this is the only photo we get when kids take photos of themselves every day with their bloody mobile? How is it that we always get these photos that look like they're taken with a potato? How is that possible? 6 states. Yeah, I see, I fail. Tasmania is not a state, it's an island. It's not a state, it's an island. It's not part of the mainland. It should be part of Antarctica. It's bloody cold down there and hot. Tasmania is the weirdest place I've ever been to. It is boiling during the day and the sun is so strong. I was so badly sunburned. I think my hands are still they're faded a lot now, but my hands were like brown, purple, red for about a month. And it was only 20 degrees and the nights are icy cold. It is the weirdest place. It's like a desert. Yeah, this is the only photo I have of him. And when I search his name, that's all that comes up. Yeah, let me take out his middle names. He's got 2 middle names, which is common in people of, Mexican or Spanish descent. They often have more than one middle name, or from other South American type countries. I can't pick up another photo for him. Hey, does anyone know in my chat? Every time I have a missing person thing, this Deputy Skaggs has a thing every time about searching something US.watch or whatever. Is that guy really a deputy, or is it he's some sort of like self-named sort of guy? Does anyone know? I'm always cautious about it because I'm like, who is he? Okay, he probably thinks the same about me. He's like, who's this weird Australian guy? No, there's just like one. People take more photos of your children, even if it's like, just for you to keep or whatever. Don't be taking photos with a 1982 Panasonic camera. Yeah, I've got one other photo for you that I could find. It's the same photo, it's just a larger shot. There. We try to forget the ACT, that's right. That's where all the politicians are. So if you don't know Australia, ACT is like our Washington. That's where all our pollies live. I like when there are 2 photos released. Often the best ones I've seen are when you have, like sometimes you get one that's got like if it's a girl, they got their hair up, or they have their hair down, or they have a hat or a, beanie on, and you get that sort of different profile. Those ones work really well for missing persons because depending on if they have their hair up, down, what they're wearing, if they're wearing a beanie or a scarf, they can look very different. So yeah. Tasmania. It's not a state, it's an island. Gayla says parents thought he was at a friend. Yeah. I do too, but that's his photo. There's like no other information about him. Oh, that's a much better photo. I found maybe the source photo. That's a much clearer photo. Why are they not using this? What's wrong with people? Here, let me get this one off your screen and let me upload this one. There you go. That is a much better, higher quality photo of him. Why they're using this one, I don't know. But this is almost the same. Is it the same jacket? See, look how different that looks. They should be using this photo. Cut this one out and use it on the posters, not this. This makes it very hard to identify because if this is the same photo, he's wearing exactly the same thing, but it looks very different. Is it the same background? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I would use this photo. It's much higher quality. Yeah, I know. It's weird, right? It's so much clearer. Government funding doesn't allow for printer upgrades. Not since Doge took office. You're not allowed to buy any printing supplies. Yeah, so there you go. That's a much nicer photo of Mr. Wan. He is missing out of Virginia Beach. Amber Alert issued out of Virginia. Let's see. Let's see if I can find the actual Amber Alert for Virginia. Here, Virginia. Do they have a website for their like Amber Alerts? Virginia Police? Maybe? State Police? No? Let's try the Amber Alert website, see if they've got it up. Okay, hold on. See active Amber Alerts. He is listed on the National Missing and Exploited Children. And another kid from Houston, Texas. I bet you DJ sent this to me, but sorry, DJ. Since I did the computer, I'm not logged into that email right now, but I will, and I'll get back to you. Matteo, I don't know this one. Matteo Vasquez. He's a 1-year-old male, Hispanic. He's missing out of Houston, Texas. They say a Sierra pickup truck bearing Texas license plate JZY 5720 may be associated, and Jason Vasquez is also being wanted out of that one. That's out of Texas. So a different Amber Alert. There you go. They believe they're traveling in that 4-door GMC 2016 dark gray Sierra pickup truck with that license plate coming out of Texas, JZY5720. They believe he has a tattoo on his right hand, and he's described as 5'5" to 5'6". Wow, he's a short dude. He's really short. That is a very short man. 5'5" to 5'6". Wow. They make him short over there. So that is that one, but the one is here. Geez, that photo's so shit. They've really got to upgrade that. That's so terrible. The Virginia State Police and the Virginia Missing Children Clearinghouse. See, that's the clearinghouse I was telling you about the other night. In order for the state police to issue the Amber Alert, they have to go through the clearinghouse, and most states have one. And they basically make sure it meets all the requirements, and then they do all like the regulation requirements and the statutory requirements to issue the alert. Yeah, so I was talking about them the other night. Interesting to see them named here. They say the child abduction occurred on January 24th at approximately 9 a.m. The child is believed to be in extreme danger. Why do they believe he's in extreme danger? Is this a genuine stranger danger abduction? Like, that would be very interesting. Not interesting, but not common. And if that is true, why is this not all over national TV? If this is a genuine random abduction of a child, this should be on every bloody news channel for a like news alert. This is not like a family one where it's like the dad took the kid and they'll eventually show up again or whatever. This is actually like, some kid just got pinched off the street. If they're doing it, if if there's being no media because he is like Hispanic, that is wrong, and they shouldn't be doing that because he's not a pretty little white girl. That's not cool, and got to stop that. Got to give each child the same amount of attention when they go missing. Yeah, they're using that terrible photo. Oh, you guys can't see it. Good work, Ping. Good work. There you go. That's right. I read it to you anyway. I read most of it. There's nothing really new there except for what I, read to you. Oh, you guys missed the Matteo one. Sorry. Let's go back to that one. Sorry about that. I forgot that photo was up. So this is the other one out of Texas, Houston, Texas. Matthew Vasquez. Vasquez? He's 1 year old. He's male Hispanic. He's 2 feet high. Aw. He's 25 pounds. The child was last seen wearing a black sweater and black pants. Update, the vehicle was removed. Okay, what do you mean? Thanks for that? What do you mean the vehicle was removed? The vehicle was removed. Good work. Whoever's doing this is... What? Yeah. Yeah, update. The vehicle was removed. Great, thanks for that. Do you mean they're no longer in the vehicle? Do you mean they found the vehicle? What? Some more details would be nice. Thank you, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. This just popped up. This wasn't here before when I was on the page. This just popped up like a second ago. They say Amber Alert. Texas Center for Missing has issued a Houston Regional Amber Alert on behalf of the Harris County Sheriff's Office. For the 15-month-old Matthew, he was last seen Saturday the 25th at approximately 5:19 p.m. in the 15,000 block of Greenstone, Houston, Texas 77084. He was last known to be wearing a black sweater, black pants. He was last known to be with 25-year-old Jason Irwin Vasquez, who was driving a 2016 dark gray GMC 4-door Sierra pickup truck bearing Texas license plate number JZY5720. And that's him there. And he's only 5'5" to 5'6". He's a short guy. Yeah, I'm going to mispronounce it. Thanks for that, though. Okay, thank you. Mateo? All right, good work. My Spanish is terrible. I'll get better, I promise. I'm learning slowly. I'm using one of those apps, but it's going very slow. Ping's not good at it. I haven't learned a new language since I was 14. No, like 9 when I learned Indonesian. Since then, I haven't learned any other languages in 30 years. So it's going slowly. I'm using one of those apps, and it's somewhat helping with some words and some phrases, but it's very incomplete. But it's a very different life, guys. Down here, we don't learn Spanish, and Spanish is not incorporated into our language. In America, I know it's almost like a second thing for you guys. You all learn it in high school. You pick it up through daily life because you have a lot of people who speak Spanish, or they live within your communities and things like that. But down here we don't learn crap. Like, we don't learn anything. They used to teach us French, German, and then they brought in Japanese and Indonesian, and that's it. Like, that's all we ever learn in school. Like, we don't do Spanish or anything like that. So that language for me is quite difficult. It's quite difficult for me to pick it up. Sean says Dora the Explorer. Hey, Woman of Steel, how are you? A tattoo on the hand is easy to identify. Well, it's easier to identify that something then it's on like the arm or something, because they can just wear a hoodie, which he is in this photo. But what is the tattoo on his right hand? A description of that tattoo might be a good idea. Not just saying he has a tattoo on his right hand. Like there's like 50 billion people that have a tattoo on their hand. It would be good if they had. Oh, come on. All right, Mateo. Where is he? Come here, Mateo. Oh, why can't I highlight your name properly? Here. Let's see if we find anything about his dad. Oh, wait, that's really weird. They spell it two different ways here. One is spelt like almost how it sounds phonetically like Mateo, and then one is spelt with the H. Why is that the case? So I see here there's two different websites. One is spelling it Mateo, which is like Mateo, and then one is spelling it with the H in it. I don't really understand that. Makes it easier to pronounce if you've never heard it before without the H. All right. KHOU has a video. That's it for a little kid. You produce like a 20-second video. Good work.
News tonight. The Texas Center for the Missing has issued a regional Amber Alert. The Harris County Sheriff's Office is looking for 15-month-old Mateo Vasquez. He's believed to be with 25-year-old Jason Vasquez, who was driving a 2016 dark gray GMC Sierra pickup truck with a Texas license plate of JZY5720. Mateo was last seen just after 5 tonight on Greenstone Drive. That's near Addicks at Suma Road and Spencer Road. If you have any information, call the Harris County Sheriff's Office. Troy Kless is joining us live now. Troy, that shooting comes just hours after a group worked with young people in an effort to curb violence in the city.
Yeah, the shooting. What shooting? I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. If he goes into a store and pays for something, I think you'd see the tattoo. Yes, but what tattoo? Is it of a dick on his hand? Is it of a giant cob of corn? Is it of like a space shuttle? Why are they all phallic shaped? I don't know. But like what is it? Is it of a football team, a soccer team? Is it like just a love heart? Is it like an L? Like what is it? For Matthew. Yeah, that sounds about right. Mateo, yeah. The English translation is Matthew. Yeah, that would be right. That sounds like very close to like the European. So there's I can't remember what it is right now, but there's a European name that's very similar in Croatian that but it's basically Matthew. It's spelt very similar. Homer Simpson? It could be a Homer Simpson. But other than that, I don't know anything. Like they produced this tiny little video. They've got half the details like randomly weird. Like, yeah, update. The vehicle was removed. What do you mean? The vehicle's still on this article. Look. See, update. The vehicle was removed, but down here it still has the vehicle information. Right there. Whoever runs the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, I really appreciate the work you do. You work tirelessly to make sure that these alerts go out, but please update them properly. Please update them with the correct information and with a bit more context. It would help people who are also trying to get the word out because typing in police speak or whatever, like with like two words, doesn't help anyone in the general public. You know, I'm guessing that's probably a cop or something because that's how they talk. Yeah, see again here, the vehicle was removed, but it's not. It's right here. So I don't know what they mean by that. Do they mean they found the vehicle and the vehicle has been located? Or I don't know. It's very hard to know without the context of what they mean. It's a tattoo of me? Oh, that would be good. I've never watched The Wiggles, no. I've never watched Dora the Explorer either, no. Never ever. I don't watch that one about the dog either. What's the one that people like now with the dog? Bluey. I never watched Bluey. when I was a kid, it was what was it when I was a kid? We had Ninja Turtles. We had Ninja Turtles and we had Biker Mice from Mars. Do you guys remember that? We had Biker Mice from Mars when I was a kid. I don't know any of the songs that you guys are talking about. It's so good. I've never watched it. Wendy R says my grandkids love Bluey. I've never watched Bluey in my life. You know who we used to have when I was a kid? We had Sooty. Do you guys remember Sooty? We had Sooty and Gumby and things like that. Like, I think Sooty is from the UK. I think Sooty is British. We had Sooty. He was like a puppet, like a little orange puppet. And Sweep, Sooty and Sweep. Yeah. Where that's one of my favorite shows in the world, Woman of Steel. I love Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. That was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. That and Captain Planet. Captain Planet was I love that show. Captain Planet, he's a hero. It was a scam. It was a scam. That show was completely funded by like scientists and crap wanting like healthier Earth or something like climate change, environmental. It was all funded by like environmental campaigns. It was a complete scam. Robbie T says we had Basil Brush. Basil Brush, I don't know that one. My kids love the Ninja Turtles. Yeah, Ninja Turtles were awesome. Woman of Steel said me too. Watched it with my son all the time. Yeah. Sean said yes. My dog was Sooty, and we named our indoor cricket team the Gumbies with his picture on our shirt. I love Gumby. Humphrey the Bear, yeah, and we had Aggro that used to always stick his hand up Anne Marie's dress. Aggro was like a TV puppet, but he was also the guy who did the puppet was often very, very rude to the female host, Anne Marie, and he'd often literally stick his hand up her dress. And that got taken up. Well, he was on the air for like 25 years, but eventually, when the word got out that he used to stick his hand up her dress, he got kicked off the air pretty quick. Was it? Is that what it was? Uh, oh, really? I want to see that. Carmen Sandiego was so good. I love that show. If they ever make a remake, I'm totally in. What was it here? Yeah, so we had Aggro's Cartoon Connection when I was a child. And if I show you this guy, you're probably going to be very, very haunted. But to us, it was fantastic. But people overseas are probably going to be like, what the hell? Here's Aggro. This was Aggro. And Aggro was like a little puppet guy. And he used to, yeah, he was very naughty. April B said, I had Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, and several cartoons. We had Sesame Street here when I was a kid. We used to get the PSAs from America. So often on ABC in the afternoon, they used to show like the PSAs from like these. They're like your favorite cartoon characters, but they were saying something about like don't take drugs or something. There was one for the Ninja Turtles. There was one for a different cartoon. They'd be like, kids, do you ever get offered drugs at school? Just say no to drugs. They'll take your grades down. Stuff like that. We're all showing our ages. We are a little bit. Oh, did you? I'm sorry I missed your birthday stream. Invite me next time, Hella. Invite me. I'll come hang out with you. I know you have another very hunky male that comes on your stream. I've seen him. He has a beard. It's a great beard. But you know, I'm available too. No, Carmen Sandiego was a cartoon. It was they had a PC game, but it was a cartoon. Grooves Underground. Hey, good to see you. I still have my old Ninja Turtle sheets. I had all these the figures. They were really expensive when I was a kid. They're like $25, and when you're in the 90s, $25 is like $50 today. But every birthday I used to buy one of those little figures, and I kept them all in the boxes, and I have no idea what happened to them. I had like 50 of them. And I had the underground sewer lair, and they're probably worth like hundreds of dollars today, and I have no idea what happened to them. Oh, it was back in June. Happy birthday for June. All right, cool. What's his name? Dali. You tell Dali he's very desirable. No, you tell him. You can clip it. Flying DJ said, "Am I the only one here that watched Captain Kangaroo? I don't know Captain Kangaroo." Yeah, watch. Hey, hold on. There's got to be Carmen. Hold on. There was a TV series. I don't know if this is the right one. The one we watched was a cartoon. No, this is a new one. No. The one we had was like an old school. Nope. Maybe Ping's like dreaming of stuff. No, I'm not. I know there was. Unless I'm just mental, which could be true. No, they're saying this one aired in 19. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so there used to be this company called Dick Productions. They actually did the translation for the original Sailor Moon back in the 90s too. They were the ones who did like the translation from Japanese to English, and it aired in TV around the world in the 90s. But apparently they also did the Where on Earth. Oh, it was called Where on Earth is Carmen Sandiego, not Where in the World. So it was a slightly different name. But yeah, the show was produced by Dick Productions LP and originally aired from February 5th, 1994 to January 2nd, 1999 on Saturday mornings during Fox's Fox Kids network block. But it used to run in Australia on Channel 7, I think. But yeah, we definitely loved this show when I was a kid. Loved watching Carmen. It was great. And then we had there was a weird show in Australia. It was a Japanese show, I think, called Samurai Pizza Cats. And I loved that show. And I learned something about it recently, that apparently when the company got the show from Japan, there was no translation guide for it, like none at all. And the people that were supposed to do the translating didn't know any Japanese. So they just made up stories, and they improvised the opening song and just made up lyrics for it. And they just made up like whatever it looked like was going on the screen. They just made up words for it. Yeah, because they just didn't know any Japanese. So they made up this real like comedy based TV show about these cats who are samurais but also own a pizza store. And it ended up being a comedy. But the real one's not a comedy. It's like really nasty and about killing other cats and things. It's so I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but Romper Room, I think that was a little before my time. Yes, it was Japanese. That is right. Wonder Wonder, I don't know that one. But yeah, Samurai Pizza Cats was one we used to watch when I was a kid. Yeah, I read about that recently, about how they didn't even know like what the original one was, and they just made up stuff about it. And they used to get launched out of this giant thing out of the top of it. It was the weirdest show. It was the weirdest cartoon. Here. It was like these little cats who dress up like samurai and go and battle people and stuff. Top Cat? I like Top Cat. Top Cat. Captain Kangaroo, I don't know that one. I don't know who Captain Kangaroo is. Like a silent movie about cats, basically. So they had to make up all the choreograph and narrative. They just made it up. Captain Kangaroo, I don't know. Let me look it up. I don't think we got this here. Did we get this here, Sean? Sean, was this something that was ever done here? And why was he named Kangaroo? Captain Kangaroo is an American children's television series that aired weekday mornings on American television network CBS for 29 years, from 1955 to 1984. I was born in 84, so it ended the year I was born. The American program service, now American Public Television Boston, integrated some newly produced segments into reruns of past episode, distributing the newer version to PBS. Okay. What is it? Is it Oh my god, what the hell is this? Is that a koala? It's a dancing bear. And looks like a moose. Oh my god, this is like the trippiest thing I've ever seen. He had like a giraffe. For some reason, this is really familiar. The giraffe. I don't know why. Okay, this is like a trip. What do they do on the show? Is it just like a variety show? Oh, okay. Good morning, Captain. Okay. All right, I've never heard of this show before in my life, but it seems like it was a big deal. Oh my god, they even had Schwinn, which they used to make bicycles. They sponsored the show. Oh my god, every kid would have wanted a bike. Didn't you guys also have one called like Orphan Annie? And they used to have like a decoder ring that you could mail in like 50 coupons or something for in the US. Reading Rainbow. No, I don't know. Yeah, Sean said no, never seen it. I've never seen it either, buddy. Reading Rainbow. I don't know that one. It was like a variety show. Okay. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood was the best. Oh my god, I don't know what that is. If you want to go back into some Australian history, since it's Australia Day, Australia had this really interesting variety show for a number of years, and I grew up watching it every Saturday night. And I'm sure Sean's going to know exactly what I'm talking about. But it was Hey Hey, It's Saturday. And Hey Hey, It's Saturday was just the best show. I loved it when I was a kid. It always had interesting things and skit shows and comedy and often movie stars or like music people would often be on there for the night. It's very similar to Saturday Night Live, but different. It runs every Saturday. It's sort of like a comedic skit show, but it's got other segments with it too. Yeah, here, let me find it for you. They've tried to bring it back a couple of times. No, that's not it. They've done like a couple of sort of like anniversary ones and things like that. But there was an ostrich in it. There was another one too, wasn't there? Like the hat, the blue hat, Dickie Knee. There's the ostrich. There's some of the hosts of it back in like the 70s. And yeah, it was like a variety show in Australia. So if you ever want to get a laugh, you can go watch that on YouTube. It was the best show until it wasn't. Yeah, I loved it growing up though. It was one of my favorite shows on a weekend. Sean said it used to be on in the morning, but it got adult viewers, so they moved it. Really? It used to be on in the morning. Red Faces was great. Yeah, Red Faces was good. Lamb Chop? We had Lamb Chop here, but I don't remember much about it. Pluck a Duck. Oh my god, Pluck a Duck. Pluck a Duck was the best. Pluck a Duck is like the... Can we find a segment of Pluck a Duck? Pluck a Duck. Yeah, I guess I could play a little bit of it. Yeah, I used to love Pluck a Duck. Because like if someone would win something. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I can show a little bit of it. Hopefully we don't get copyrighted.
Can't believe your energy level sometimes. Your energy level is just frightening. Would you like to go and grab Christine Percy from Moree in New South Wales? Maureen. Out comes Christine. Christine, come in here. Lovely to have you on our humble little show. You have 2 children and a little chow chow.
Yes.
I don't think you're allowed to kiss women like that anymore on national TV who you don't know. Today you'd probably get slapped with some sort of HR complaint, some sort of national scandal. You'd be on the Daily Mail front page in the morning.
Chow
Your
chow dog.
little dog. He's called a
Large
chow
dog.
chow, and you call him chow chow. He's actually
He's just he's a chow chow.
he's a chow chow, and
He's a Chinese dog.
he's a Chinese dog,
Yeah,
and
the
naturally,
semi-family.
so that's why you call him Lincoln.
Yes.
Well, that's
We
really.
named him before he was born, actually.
You named him before he was born, and you thought, oh, we've got a chow chow, we've got to call him Lincoln. However, so that's, and what about the children are how old?
18 months, Carlin, and a stepson, 12, Ben.
Ben and Carlin, look into camera 1 and give them a, there you go. No, sorry, look into camera 3. There you go. No, sorry, camera.
So yeah, they would always mess around with guests like that and sort of like play little pranks on them. Let's even go all the way to pluck a duck. So you could win things like, oh, you could win this crappy bracelet from Hourglass, which is probably worth like $1.50. Oh, you could win Retco Golf Australia. You could win a golf bag, maybe. What else could you win? Oh, a holiday to Macau with always travel proprietary. No, that's not a word. Whatever it's called. Mandarin Oriental Hotel. Do you think they are still in business? Always Travel Proprietary Limited, or what are they called? I doubt it. J&H Toys. Are they still in business? Oh my god. These slam gum things. I had these when I was a kid. They're full of bubble gum. And this one must be an AFL version. These little basketball things. I had one of those when I was a kid. Oh, you could win a Kmart. You always want to win a Kmart. They are the best for many Kmarts. All right, let's watch. Are we going to go into the bit where she actually Oh, this is the bad one. The one with the little ducks is better. Where is it? All right, here. I'll take you to this one.
Pluck your ducks here. Every duck a winner. Grab your duck right here.
Around this way, Christine. Just move in here. Move in here a little. Oh. Thank you. I got a face full of white muck.
Oh, dear.
Thank you, Mr. Crystal. That's Crystal's last show with us. Now, oh, don't do that. That might hurt him.
Could deafen him.
Here we go. Now, all right. You ready? You've got to pull the tunic up. Not your tunic, Plucker. This tunic. It's silly to pull his up because I've got the number under here. What do you think you'd like? Number 1?
Yes, number
Drum
1.
roll. If it's number 1, it's the car.
Oh!
Did Plucker give her the duck, the one with the car? Because often when he would like smack all the ducks around or make a mess of stuff, he'd often find the one where it had the good prize, and he'd sort of like swap them with the cartoon, like the person. So yeah, we still have Kmart here. We have Kmart today. Kmart is still in Australia down here. Yeah, isn't that a fun show? So if you ever want to go look it up, it's called Hey Hey, It's Saturday. This is from 1996, right when I was a little kid. I would have been 10 or something. 12. I would have been 12 at the time. Yeah, I would have been 12 at the time. What the hell is going on? Oh, okay. Thanks for that, Amazon. Yeah, so have a look at that when you get a time. I thought that would be fun because it's Australia Day down here. Red Faces was a gag for performances with no talent. Yeah, it was sort of like a talent show. It was just stupid, but it was so much fun. So yeah, that's what we used to get up to when we didn't have the internet. We used to watch shows like this, Pluck a Duck and stuff like that. Layaway. Do we still have lay-by here? I think we still have. I think you can still do lay-by in Australia. I think so. I haven't used it in 25 years, but Woman of Steel said, "My son is the same age as you, Ping. Your son must be a great person like me." No, that is very cool. Is he really the same age? That is very interesting. So he must have turned 40 this year. Is that true? He must have turned 40, like Ping did. Does he do true crime, and is he from Australia? You let me know. All right, give me 1 second. He is. Yeah, I bet. Hey, if he's your son, he's probably the best. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me get some crime. Let's see what else I got on my list of random crimes. Oh my god. I just got an email. Apparently, Nancy Grace is having a new book come out called "What Happened to Ellen." You know the lady Ellen, that I think it's the lady who died in her home and had all the stab wounds, including one in the back of her neck. All right, hold on. Let's see if we did that one last night. Remember that one we did last night of that woman that killed her daughter and the animals? Oh my god. Let's see. All right, let's go to California. I feel like we haven't done a story out of California in a while. Let's go to Fox 26 News in Cali. They say a toddler hit and killed by a car. Father arrested after shooting at driver. They're saying a family member has set up a GoFundMe fundraiser to help pay for the funeral of 2-year-old Benjamin Zapita. They're saying the California Highway Patrol has arrested a man after they say he shot at the driver who had just hit and killed his 2-year-old son. Seems reasonable. They say the death of the child was unintentional when the toddler ran out in front of an oncoming car. When the driver stopped, the father pulled out a gun and fired several shots, hitting the car. The incident happened around 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday, January 21st on Highway 33, north of Crow's Landing Road. They say California Highway Patrol and emergency personnel arrived to find a 2-year-old boy from Newman with numerous injuries, major injuries. The child was taken to Doctors Medical Center where he later died. Investigators said the boy and his father's name is Elvis, were standing on the west shoulder of State Road 33 near a food truck when the child ran into the road. The father chased after him, but the boy was hit by a northbound BMW. The driver of the BMW stopped immediately, which is when California Highway Patrol say the father retrieved a handgun and fired several rounds at the BMW, hitting the rear of the vehicle. The driver left the scene unharmed. Evidence collected by the Modesto, California Highway Patrol and the Auto Theft Task Force identified the father as the shooter. He was arrested and booked into the county safety center, public safety center. What is that? Is that like a jail? On charges of attempted murder, possession of an illegal firearm, and possession of a controlled substance. The California Highway Patrol expresses gratitude to the Patterson Police Department for their assistance, stating, "Together we strive for a safer community." A GoFundMe has been set up by a family member to help pay for the funeral of the 2-year-old Benjamin. All right, let me see if I can find that GoFundMe. That's very, very sad. Yep, 3 days ago. It's already raised almost $20,000 to help the family. There's the little boy that unfortunately died. They've raised $16,230 so far from the community. They say the little boy was only born on the 14th of August, 2022. He has almost the same birthday as me, and was brought happiness to his family with his beautiful smile. He'll be greatly missed. They said any and all help is appreciated. And yeah, apparently the mum is named Alamendra Alfaro, and she tragically lost her 2-year-old son, Benjamin Zapita, on the 21st of January, 2025. Wow, that's a really sad story. Yeah, the dad wasn't watching the kid, and he was at a food truck, and the kid ran off and ran into the middle of the road and got hit by a northbound car. Yeah. Yeah, sweet child, very cute kid. Yeah, the father is dumb. 100%. I'm sorry, I was laughing at these guys talking about cigarettes. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, the family's obviously going to be able to put him to rest. They're going to have a decent funeral for him. The community has come together and raised some money for them, so that's good. But yeah, what a tragic situation that didn't need to happen, right? Didn't need to happen. That kid could be alive today. Uh, yeah, but you shouldn't shoot at another vehicle. That's ridiculous. All right, hold on, guys. One moment. All right, all right, all right. Yeah, have a Winfield. Have a Winfield today. Yeah, didn't Paul Hogan? He used to do that, right? He used to advertise cigarettes. I remember when I was a kid and I used to go to football games that they used to have signs for Winfield at the football. They have the little signs at the side of the oval, and it would say, Winfield Blue and Winfield Gold. Get a cigarette or whatever. Holiday. I remember Holiday used to have advertising at the tennis. If you remember that, Holiday cigarettes used to have advertising at the Open when I was a little kid. Even in magazines they used to have like Holiday, Winfield, all that. Kathy Lynch says, I lost a cousin. When he crawled or walked out in front of a car, accidents happen. Drivers can't always stop. Not if you're going northbound and doing like 60. The driver had no chance. That's what he said. That's right. Um, yeah. I'm glad the family's getting some help too. All right. Hey, if you're out there and you're in Australia, have a great rest of your Australia Day. And whatever you're doing on your long weekend, we will definitely be back. Actually, tomorrow, there may actually be no show tomorrow. Hold on. Yeah, so I just confirmed we're actually going out for Mrs. Ping's mother's birthday. It's actually, was it today or yesterday? Yesterday, but we're having lunch with her tomorrow, which means I won't be here to do a show tomorrow night. So, I'll have to see you on Monday. On Monday night will be our next show for the channel. Of Woos? I haven't seen. I hear from Woos every now and then. She emails me, sporadically. So I know Woos is okay. I just I don't know. Hope she's getting better. Hope she's getting better. Yeah, I'll have fun tomorrow. I promise. I'm not sure what we're doing. I think we're just going over to their house and having some lunch together and hanging out. I think that's all we're going to do. And yeah, I will see you on Monday night then, a rare day off tomorrow. By the way, thank you to the people who support and keep this channel going. I very much appreciate it. You guys are amazing and it really does help. Thank you to the people over the last few days, which will be Marlene. Thank you very much. That was very kind of you. Sean contributed for Glitter's rug. I appreciate that. And my friend Vicky K, I haven't seen Vicky in ages. I hope Vicky's doing okay. Vicky, your membership thing came through. I appreciate that, my friend. Hope you're doing okay. I need someone to fill in. Yeah, Hella, come and fill in for me. You want to fill in on my channel? Can you be this stupid? You let me know. And no, Hella's busy enough. But what you can do is you can hop over to her channel and head over to Excited Utterance. She'll be probably on. Are you doing a show tomorrow? It's Monday, so you'll probably do an early show, right? You're on a little earlier on a Sunday, yeah? So head over to Excited Utterance. She'll have a show tomorrow. And yeah, I'm sure she'll have true crime and legal analysis and courthouse drama. So head over to Hella and subscribe to her channel. Actually, I can probably I don't have it. It's Excited Utterance. You'll be able to find it. I'll post it on Twitter and Facebook, and come and subscribe to her channel. I'm streaming at 6 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Okay, Eastern. So if you're in yeah, 6 p.m. If you're in West Coast, that is 3 p.m. 3 p.m. So no, no. She's busy enough. She has her own channel and billions of shows to do. She doesn't have to pretend to be me or fill in for me. You can head to her channel though and hang out with her. Yeah, I don't think I can do it from here. You can't do it from StreamYard. Hold on. I can't, unfortunately, because I'm not logged into my creator account. Because we just made the new computer last night. I went to go into it just then. I went into normal YouTube, but I'm logged into my personal account, not my creator account. When I get back into my creator account, I'll make you a moderator. So the next time you come back, it'll be done. Her name was Hella. I know. 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Mountain, 3 p.m. Pacific. So I was right. 3-hour difference. So yeah, 3 p.m. if you're in California. If you're in New York, 6 p.m. Eastern, head over to Hella. Sorry, this computer is brand spanking new. I'm not logged into anything. Is there a mask for Hella to wear? A mask? A ping mask? I don't think so. I think she's pretty enough that she can just wear her own face. I think she can just wear her own face. She's lovely enough. She don't need to look like this old man over here. She can just look like her normal self. All right. Hang out with Hella tomorrow. I won't be here. I love you all very much. I'll see you on Monday night. Good night. Be safe out there. Bye.